Fujo's always coming in looking fly. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I like to dress up. We can coin this out actually. I mean, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, but I kind of like this because this is kind of the idea behind this deck. We're playing Keleseth, a Spiteful Druid right now, and we have a whole bunch of interesting things going on. And there we go, our first buffed up minion to reach us, and we're gonna go face. Now the big key with this success of this matchup, the way I understand it, is gonna be a Spiteful Summoner. If we roll our big juicy 12/12 on turn 6, in addition to a 4/4, so that's like a lot. I'm not gonna try and bother doing the math. And look, a 1 mana 3/2 is pretty strong. I think a Crypt Lord is also gonna be pretty strong. I think we can just wait now, and we'll punch through this in a second. Hey, Midagus, how's it going? Hope you had a good weekend. Hope everyone's been having a good weekend, having some fun with Hearthstone. And everything else that you're doing as well, honestly. This deck has just been a... This deck kind of showed up on the radar over the weekend, and I thought, why not give it a try? So this is probably handlock type of thing. Someone was saying, actually... Memes, you're saying you gotta take off for class in 30 minutes? I'll try and have the best games of the day to start this stream. How about that? We'll kind of... Oh, how long can this go on? Let's flood the board this way. Maybe there was honestly a misplay of not going Greedy Spite. I'm honestly not sure. I think we can just go ahead and wait here. So the issue is there is an inevitability of losing against Warlock. So maybe we should have gone Greedy Spite, because we could have gone Greedy Spite into Spiteful Summoner. So maybe this was a misplay. The thing is, we're kind of playing around our... Oh boy. Well, I mean, it's going to be easier for us to punch through now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a misplay on our opponent, because they literally played their Tar Creeper to kill their Tar Creeper. So yeah, this is that situation where we should have... I'm going to play this out just to see if we can't bait out some more removal from our opponent, because next turn we've got our big power turn. And then we'll kind of see what's going on. We obviously have another big turn 6, but obviously turn 6 has to be Spiteful Summoner. We have a little bit of a board to deal with whatever our opponent plays, but now they're feeling a little pressure and probably want to get rid of our stuffs. Hey Travis, how's it going? Hey Andrew, Trammel, good morning to you as well. Why not play the dragon version of this deck? Ooh, I don't even know what the dragon version of this deck is, but I love the sound of it. Let's go ahead and get a quick, easy turn 6, 12/12, can't be targeted. And I think we can win at that point. I'm gonna just... what is the difference between doing this and not doing this? The Defile still doesn't kill us, but I just... And here's the thing, maybe this was a misplay, maybe we shouldn't be making this trade, but honestly, I just love having our opponents not be able to do anything. Possess Lackey, probably into a big clear. This was gonna trigger anyways, so it's not like there's much that we can do. That definitely hurts. And now we need to be doing other things. And maybe our opponent really controlled us out there. Both of their Defiles are gone, so we have that going for us. One of their Doom Guards is gone. Possessed Lackey is gone. We can punch through this, kind of. Our Leroy Jenkins can get also buffed up by Fungal Mancer. Things that we're looking for now, that actually hurts a lot, because that was going to be very helpful for us. Mindbreaker doesn't help us as much as we would hope right now. Would we Spellbreaker this? And the answer is absolutely no, because we need to get some sneaky lethal here, I think. Mindbreaker is a very interesting tech, in my opinion. Do we need the Glacial Shard? I'm going to hold off on the Glacial Shard. If our opponent just drops the big Taunter, would we have lethal? No, this is only 10 into 12. Hellfire kind of stinks, but our Mindbreaker stays active. Double Hellfire. Opponent's down to almost lethal. 7, 9. Obviously, our opponent can... Are we doing the flavor texts? I think we can just have this happen. And we're going to choose Hero Power to go face. And Yeah, memes, we can... Oh, memes, you're only here for half an hour, though, to take a look at the flavor text. That's the issue, huh? I would have preferred to have done it later on in the stream, to be honest. I'll save it for another time that you're here, I promise. How about that? And that looks like a really nice, well played. We have our buffed up spell breakers. And we're just going to go with a big ol' Leroy Lethal. So that's going to be pretty good, actually. And we'll take that very, very quick win against Warlock. And this is how I think this deck ends up winning in this matchup, where you have to apply a bit of early pressure. And you can find your lethal, your late game lethal, sneaky lethal with a Leroy if you need it. If you don't just get to outvalue people with Spiteful Summoners and Ultimate Infestations and things like that. We're going to keep one Firefly, and we keep Spiteful in this matchup, in my opinion. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now we really want to hit our ramp and Keleseth. Oh, we have our late game win condition. We'll be back in about 3.5 hours. Maybe we'll have to do it another day then. I mean, hopefully we can stay on that long. I'm not sure if we will, memes, though, but I'll try. So Shadow Priest player, I didn't do the entire climb with Mage. I think we have to take the hero power here, because then we can mix in the hero power next turn as well, so that's kind of cool. I always mix up the decks, though. Shadow Priest player. I really just enjoy playing different decks, which is probably why my rank is not as good as it should be for the amount of time that I play. Because a lot of people say, you know, Hearthstone is a game of numbers, you need to play enough games in order to rank up. And I just simply, I do play a lot. Hey, Monwar, also thank you for hitting that subscribe button. Not sure if you're here on a video or where you're at, but hope you're doing alright. Had a good weekend. Gotta love the Leroy Jenkins, Travis. Yeah, absolutely. That's an early Voodoo Doll. Wow, very control-y. Very control-y. So this makes me want to absolutely rank this, or ramp, I should say. Do we just get rid of this now? Is there anything we could have done? I'm going to get rid of it just because I don't know what the game plan is, and obviously a Defile still wipes us. But if we get if our opponent clears this for us now, then we get a turn 5 Spiteful Summoner into turn 6 Spiteful Summoner. So that's also pretty cool. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Silence, please. Because this is gain an empty mana crystal. So it's not going to help us this turn, unfortunately. We're just going to go face here a bit, knowing full well that, you know, we didn't draw our silence, so there's nothing we can do here. Q-Block reminds you of how annoying Highlander Priest was. Yeah, Q-Block is really not fun right now. There's no doubt about it. That's a really big defile. And we get our ramp one turn late, unfortunately. Okay. I mean, here's our big turn that we're looking for. Ooh, a Keleseth for next turn. That's going to be maybe good, because then we're going to be able to draw a whole heck of a lot. So what a surprise. What a surprise that we have a 10-drop coming out. Hey, that's a pretty big 10-drop, which could just get hard removed. Or we could start going... I mean, the issue is we do need to actually remove this. Like, we don't want this to be getting cubed and silly things like that having happened to us. Because we know that's one of the ways that we really get punished with this deck. Wow, speaking of getting punished with this deck. How do we do this now, friends? Do we do this and go face? Set our opponent down to 11. I feel like this trade should happen. But if that trade happens, maybe we just do both as well. Because then our opponent only has an 8/8 and can't clear everything. Like, we'll get rid of this, and then we'll do this. And I don't think there's any 10-drops that come out as chargers anymore. Mimisaur, yeah, this card is great. Ultrasaur is fantastic. There we go. We are the essence of madness. Now we have a pretty big board. So our opponent's going to have to do something kind of awesome. And then we're able to refill our hand like crazy. And we refill our hand with incredibly buff minions. And maybe one of them is Leroy Jenkins to steal another win. Which is, you know, when you're going against Warlock, you just want to steal wins. That's all we're looking to do. Oh, Devere, I didn't see that sneaky comment that you posted. Correction, playing a lot of games and winning few of them. Yes, that has been the motto around here. But I honestly think our mage gameplay has been pretty reasonable. Hey, thanks Shadow Priest for hitting that subscribe button. We know you're here. Deal 2 damage to a friendly minion. Discover a demon. Okay. So that's good. So there's no value trading going on here somehow with a, what's that card called? Mortal Coil. Remember how good Mortal Coil was back in WoW? Oh, so good. Discovering all these demons, but I don't think it's going to matter. This is 14. This is 18. 18 plus 7 seems like a big ol' lethal, unless our opponent has some of the best spellstones in the world. Though that's a pretty good spellstone, I'm not going to lie. We don't need to do that yet. What I think we can do is activate... Next turn we'll have 4 again. 4 plus... Wait, where's the card counter? I think we'll be okay here. It's going to be really interesting. Poisonous? No, we'll take the Taunters if everyone doesn't mind here. And this also lets us start punching face a little bit harder. And so our opponent obviously can Twisting Nether here, but I think we're okay. There was a OTK Priest that looked pretty fun. Ooh. Wait, MHD, you think you do usually play Priest, but you don't think it's that good? I think the Satellite Priest right now is pretty good. I think Satellite Priest is in a pretty good spot. I've seen, you know, from my limited experience, or play testing with it so far in the expansion. And then I've seen some of the, you know, the mini, like, you know, 3 days worth of meta reports coming out that have said it seems like it's pretty reasonable. So... I think the deck should be okay. Ooh, that's a fun card. I like that card a lot. Ooh, Felguard. I don't think that's going to be enough to save our opponent. I have this strange feeling. I have a feeling that's also not going to be enough. But I mean, we got to respect it though, right? Is that lethal yet? There. That was the lethal. That was the lethal. You know what? I like taking out these warlocks, to be perfectly honest with everyone. There's honestly, it just kind of feels good. It kind of warms the heart a little bit to know that we're able to just beat down these warlocks a little bit, because we know they might slowly get out of control, but if there's enough tempo decks like this, maybe we have a chance. I think we need to hard mulligan for actually good cards that we want. I think this is... Oh, no! We should have kept one of the 3 drops. Okay, now we top deck Firefly, top deck Prince Keleseth, and then we win. Even though Leroy's only 6 damage. You don't remember how many Yogs you got before, Travis? Yeah, you get Yogs, you would get a Cthulhu, a 6/6. That's never fun. Yeah, right now the minimum is 8/8, actually. So that's actually going to be really good. So yeah, Spiteful Summoner just got a massive buff. And Travis, do you think it makes sense to add a Skulking Geist for the Dark Packs? I mean, today maybe it would have.
My greetings.
Honestly, maybe today it would have made sense to do that with just, you know, the Warlocks, the Warlock density that we're seeing. So maybe. But in general, I would argue probably not. We probably hero power unless we find a Prince Keleseth. Fungal Mancer is another one of those interesting tech cards. Helps us with a little sneaky burst. Helps us buff up our Spiteful Summoners and things like that. We're obviously going to play Mindbreaker next turn if we have nothing else to do, especially if all our opponent does is hero power. We're going to disable their ideal turn 3, which would then be hero power again. Yeah, Skulking Geist, I mean, it's funny because I did include Skulking Geist in a couple of the control decks. And I got a couple comments actually on the videos of those from those games, and the people were just like, "Why do you have Skulking Geist? No one plays those cards anymore. Like, what do you need to counter?" And I was like, "Well, there still is Dark Pack. There still might be OTK. I'm like, expecting not OTK, but you know, the big or 4 plus 2 is 6, so that kind of stinks." The other thing that stinks is that we aren't able to find our ramp for Spiteful Summoner a turn earlier than turn 6. MHD, can we try the new Priest OTK? You know what? Probably not today, to be honest with you. Oh, Prince Kelly. We're going to go ahead and make a taunt. I just don't want to take the damage this turn so that we can develop Spiteful. And then maybe after Spiteful, we can buff things up with Fungalmancer to punch through. That's kind of my thinking here. I don't think I'm going to do the Priest OTK today. I just had other things I wanted to play around with. I'll make a note of it, though. I will actually make a note to look into it. Oh, that's a big Spellstone. Wow, our opponent's going early aggression. That's a nice one, potentially. Let's see what happens here. I'm hoping a 12-12, which cannot be targeted. I saw some math, actually, on it, and I heard that the chances of getting... Oh, my goodness, 2 games in a row. He's unstoppable. Of getting... What is that? The Ultrasaur? Not Ultrasaur. Now we're just looking how cute Ultrasaur is. Whatever the Druid legendary is, 12-12 can't be targeted. That one was pretty high, actually, the chances of getting that off of Spiteful Summoner. So we're hoping to see a couple of those today, I think. And, yeah. Grand Archivist, obviously, the one drawback, the reason why Priest Spiteful might be... Oh, wow, our opponent loves going face. So now we have some questions of how we want to do this. I mean, we can't do both of these, unfortunately. But we could do something like Fungalmancers here. That doesn't help us. We can go this. It's only 2. If we do it here... Oh, that doesn't help us. This way doesn't help us. I can take 3 damage. Or I can take 8 next turn. Then I think we lose to, like, Doomguard shenanigans. So I think we're going to silence 1 hit, hero power. Or just double trade, who cares, right? And then... Oh, no. Then hero power, then these 2 go into there. Because Fungalmancer, the positioning is awful for me. I did it to myself. I think that's the game plan. I think this is the game plan. Now the issue is our friend is going to have all sorts of removal active. But that's okay. Maybe we can start gaining control of this board slowly. Placement of Spiteful, but yeah, absolutely, Devere. That was the that was definitely the issue that I finally realized with the Fungalmancer, and I totally agree that's something I need to something that I need to be a little bit more conscious of. Oh, what is this? Hellfire time? Tapping into Hellfire? Oh. Could still be a Hellfire, because then their opponent's last Spellstone gets huge. We're very low, but hopefully we can find ways to overcome this. I don't want to do this for a number of reasons. I think we can flood here. I'm happy flooding. If our opponent has the OTK somehow, good for them. Or the OTK, if our opponent somehow finds lethal, good for them, but I don't think they will. And it seems like we've been able to build up a bit of a board that's going to demand an answer. And then this becomes only 8 damage from hand. Oh, that's going to hurt, actually. Although maybe we just Ultimate Infestation. Our opponent doesn't have a lot of mana left to play with. Did our opponent literally just tap into lethal? I think they did. This looks like 8 damage to me. That was pretty nice of our opponent to give us lethal there. So, we can just take that. I guess we can just take that one very quickly and say thank you. And kind of move on with our day.